I'm sorry if your name is Steve, okay?
2, 3, 4.
It's talking with Trenton, it's talking with Trenton. He's talking even when nobody listens. It's talking with Trenton, so pay attention to the latest edition of Talking with Trenton.
I'm not sorry because your name is Steve. I'm sorry because if your name is Steve, I'm not talking to you. Unless Steve is watching this video. Let me explain. But first, if you are new here, hi, I'm Trenton. This is my YouTube channel where every week we talk about how we're growing in life and we make the world a tad bit better one day at a time. If you want to join the Fam Bam Jam Pam, go ahead and click that subscribe button. It is free and all of your dreams will come true. About a year and a half ago, I was in my dietitian Kelly's office and she gave me a bit of wisdom that absolutely changed my life. Being overweight, depressed, and honestly borderline suicidal was obviously a really dark place. And at the time, I attributed most of my depression to being fat. I really thought that I was doomed to be lonely all the time and always feel sick. But Kelly informed me that God didn't create me to be a sluggish, sick, self-hating piece of poop. In fact, these were all lies and they weren't even true. I didn't have to feel sluggish all the time. I didn't have to overeat at every meal, which ultimately led me to beat myself up and binge even more, thus continuing the cycle of always being sluggish and always feeling sick. Now, as I said before, my tendency at the time was to always blame myself, which did nothing but contribute to the problem. But that day, Kelly told me that none of this was my fault.
The sash ringing, the flash singing, the bash pinging.
In fact, there was only one person to blame.
The hash slinging slasher!
Steve. You guys are probably thinking, man, this guy Steve really sounds mean. Who is this guy? He is. He is evil. Steve was my best friend from about the age of 10 all the way until I was in college. He was the guy that forced me to overeat, and he was the guy that always convinced me to isolate myself and not hang out with my friends. And no matter how hard I tried to shut him up, he just kept talking and talking and talking. I remember sitting by myself in the stairwell eating a second lunch most days in middle school, hiding from everybody because I didn't want all the other people in school to know how much of a fat loser I was. This was Steve's idea. The ironic thing is, most of the time growing up, I wasn't even that overweight. Steve just convinced me that I was, which forced me to play the part and overeat with food and beat myself up. Now, before you try to track Steve down and toilet paper his house or set his bathtub on fire, I should probably tell you, you're gonna have a hard time finding him. Steve is a concept that Kelly got from a book called Life Without Ed. The author looked at her eating disorder as an abusive boyfriend, allowing herself to accept that Ed and her were not the same person. She then allowed herself to have conversations with Ed, convincing her that she wasn't crazy, Ed was just a jerk. Accepting that Steve is not me allowed myself to understand that I am valuable and I am worthy of being loved by others and most importantly, loved by myself. God created me in his image, which means that I am worthy of love no matter what I look like. Once I understood that my worth was the same when I was morbidly obese as it is now when I've lost 85 pounds, but I'm technically still overweight, as it will be in 5 years when who knows what I'll look like, I was able to stop letting Steve abuse me. Let me be completely real here. If you are watching this video and you're overweight or you're obese or you're underweight or whatever, and you don't like what you look like or you don't like the person that you are, hear me. You are worthy of being loved, and you are worthy of loving yourself, no matter what size, no matter how big, no matter how small you are. Once I finally got that through my head, I was able to do the hard work in changing my habits and stop abusing myself and learn to be comfortable in my own skin. It is important to note that I didn't have to lose weight to have value. I thought I did for a long time, but eventually I learned that I wanted to lose weight to be healthy, to be able to do more things, to be more confident when I look at myself in the mirror. I wanted to lose weight and be healthy because I wanted to be able to do more things. I wanted to be able to move more and be more flexible. I wanted to stop feeling sick because I overate at every single meal. I wanted to have more energy to be able to go on walks with my friends and family. So if for any reason at all you are not comfortable in your own skin, I highly recommend that you reach out to a licensed dietitian. I am not one, but a dietitian will be able to help coach and guide you to where you need to be. So often we try to lose weight for the wrong reasons, ultimately leading us to hurting ourselves and more self-abuse.
The ass-slinging slasher!
If you're interested, I put my dietitian Kelly's information in the notes for this video. I highly recommend reaching out to her. She is the best, and she really helped me get to where I am today. But in the meantime, here are some lies that Steve told me. It wasn't until I allowed myself to realize that they were indeed lies that I was able to start making progress. By the way, I encourage you to name your Steve, and every time they tell you a lie, call them out and tell them why they are wrong. For the purpose of this video, Steve will be played by me wearing a hat.
None of your friends really love you, they just feel bad for you. Go eat a second lunch and you will feel better.
Shut up, Steve. You are wrong. My friends are great, and they love me very much. I am not hungry, so I will not obey.
I know that you're hungry, but you're too busy to eat right now. Keep working hard and don't stop to eat. Otherwise, you are unworthy of being loved.
No, Steve. I have not eaten in over 5 hours. If I don't eat now, I will be so hungry that I will want to binge. Plus, I know my value is not in my work. You are wrong.
Every relationship you've ever had has failed because you are stupid, fat, ugly, and unworthy of being loved. Order Domino's and you'll feel better. I know you love to eat pizza and pasta till you're sick.
Shut up, Steve. I know you are wrong. I am worthy of being loved, and someday I will meet my wife. Plus, eating pizza is not going to solve anything. I will eat my planned meal instead. I know that these scenarios may sound extreme or maybe even a little crazy, but trust me, these are very real conversations that I have with Steve all the time. We talk to ourselves in a way that if we saw somebody talking to our best friend that way, we'd punch him in the face.
Cut! 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 Why does everything happen to me?
This week, I would really like it if you guys practice what we talked about in this video and start talking to your own version of Steve. Also, leave a comment below and tell me what your Steve's name is. I would really be excited to hear all the different names that y'all have.
Yay!
All right, that is this week's video. As always, I really appreciate you guys for sticking around and giving it a thumbs up if you liked it. Also, subscribe and ring the bell. I really appreciate that too. Until next time, I love you guys. Mwah. I love you guys very much. I hope your day just got a tad bit better.
TADBitBetterTV. TADBitBetterTV, where you watch some great videos. Click the left side of the screen to see what we made last week. Click the right side of the screen to see some of my faves. I'm sorry that didn't rhyme, but that's okay. Please don't hate. I'll see you next Tuesday. Goodbye. I'll see you later, alligator. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe.